Finishing up Howard the Duck real quick. Since I watched it this far. Flip the camera around. See me. Links in the chat if anybody wants to chit chat. Pop out and try to make the camera flip. Looks too far away. Yeah, fuck it. So anyway, tonight we're going to cover a little bit of this book. It's called Chaos and Culture, Cyberculture by Timothy Leary. put out in '94, but references back to a lot of his older research. But it is neat because I read it and studied his stuff back in the day. And here we are in the future, and it's pretty much laid out in detail. Creating chaos. Everybody becoming their own little television star. Personal screens. It's a good one. Custom size screen realities. It's a really interesting book. If anybody ever wants to read up on it, discuss it, I'm more than happy. Some interesting artwork. What did I just see? Yeah. Where's the Jesus property? Oh, it's just about movie rights. That's kind of a neat sentiment. Like Leary does pull from a lot of different disciplines and foundations, because it's only in examining the totality that we can begin to even see pieces for what they are, which is just that, pieces. Without unity, we can never have completion or totality, because we'll never have all the pieces. The source for that would be everything I've ever witnessed up to this point that involved group dynamics, things of that nature. Another cool book I've been checking out. Bad for a minute, but it's one of those things you digest slowly. Art Psalms by Alex Gray. Baby mama got it for me. It's pretty dope. It's about sacred geometry and different expressions of that through art and poetry. If you're familiar with the band Tool, or if been to any kind of hippie store in the last 30 years, you've probably no doubt seen a poster or some kind of card or possibly internet pictures and memes. But he has some really dope stuff. I haven't really memorized it to record anything, but it's just nice to trip out on. See how his theories are expressed visually. So yeah, it's like the artist being fed the divine inspiration. He's translating it onto the canvas. He goes through his little statements on his mystic art. And really good vibrato. That's pretty groovy. Weed guy. Now his paintings measure out, like he does a lot of the mathematics and measurements on them to make sure they're all proportionate and accurate. Sacred geometry stuff. It's impressive. A lot of sketches. Does a lot on female divinity, female forms. Yeah, that's that book. Empty quiet is appealing. The only suck part is that I have the stupid phone camera. It won't go away, pointing at me. For the view across the way. Do a little Mandela. It's good crumble batter. It's hard to tell if it's supposed to be so crumbly or if it's just the intense heat of today. If we're gonna spill some. Oh. Anybody ever have that game where you haven't moved for a good 20 minutes? Somehow your light has vanished. You stand up and you can't find it, and you check your seat, you check your pockets, and it's not there. And then you sit down, and maybe 5 minutes later, you go, okay. And you stand up again, and then it just drops. And you're like, well, where the hell was it? That one's always puzzled me. Proper bowl heating is crucial for vaporization. Good stuff. No chat. One viewer, no chat. Hello to whoever's out there. What else is fun? Great drink. I think I'll mix it with some Cali Kush. Pretty tight. Hey, thanks, Mar. You want to jump up and chit chat? Feel free. Dicking around. You hate when you can't find the hole. It's an Ibanez. Get it? Actually, there's a heart that says I love. But there's no you, because I'm single. And that's just how it is here in Dave Town. I do need a new movie to watch though. Killer movie. This is a good one. I won't say it's one of my favorites, but oh my goodness. If you ever want to see like the craziest white trash movie ever, that's it. Hobo with a Shotgun is basically like every crazy person's violent wet dream in one film. It's so bad, it's good. Let's see. Where's my remote? Oh, it's way over here. Oh. Another story I'd be happy to discuss anytime is Harrison Bergeron. It's Kurt Vonnegut. It's an older story. I've been waiting for somebody to get in on that one. And what was the other one? Alas, Babylon. That one's also good. It's like a post-apocalyptic tale. That movie's also pretty crazy. It's about a tire that's a serial killer. Again, so bad it's good. See, one of these days somebody will be cool enough to come over and kick it late night and have a movie night with me again. I missed the Midnight Movie Club. Got an insane amount of films. Couple of rocks. Need more light, I think. I hate having to run two devices like this, but that's the price you pay when you misplace your webcam. And the last time I went to Walmart, they said that's not an essential item. It's like, what the fuck? It's essential to me. What makes it essential in my book? Undulating. is a nectar collector. It's dope. Collects all your nectar inside the little doodad here. And I will demonstrate the fun of the nectar collector as soon as it's. What should I taste? Go with Mandela batter. Smoking this literally changes the flow of the time stream. So it will seem like deja vu when you see me hit it because you indeed have seen it before. Can't light it with my lighter though. Goodness. Good job, guys, at Fire Industries. Another fine product. Shit, sorry about that. My Corona polio is acting up. Hey, Chrissy, what's happening? Besides me dying over here. It is a good morning. Almost 4 in the good morning. Yeah, what happened? Anything bad or just the normal? The blue light disruption phenomena. Glad you did. It brightens my day when other people actually interact. Especially at 4 in the morning. Most people are sleeping. I usually don't sleep till like 4:30. I'm really strict on my schedule. If I'm not, I put myself in timeout. Nah, it's just I'm used to working night shift. So more often than not, I was off between 11 to midnight most nights. Cool beans. Try to get some rest and stay golden, pony boy. Damn, I want to watch Outsiders. Still the idea list I had. Everyone always talks about what are we gonna do now that the movement's going. But as I always like to state, t-shirt, merch, all that kind of stuff. I'm totally down to grow out some of my custom seeds. I still have little vials, probably about 300. So the odds of that turning out at least a few good females and males to breed with, or just making a little clone lab. It's an easy money maker. Same thing if you want to run a couple of males and females and breed, you can just start a little seed farm. 4 little bushes, and you got a couple thousand seeds. You split that into 5 seeds a packet. Cha-ching. Especially if you drop the price and undercut the major labs. But I digress. Everybody's being root words lately with that. I wish I would see him over here sometimes. I always go over there and he's always on when I'm like crack of dawn and I can't even talk anymore. Or in the afternoon when I got a group of heads over here and everybody's chatty. It's one of those things where anytime I go to do anything, people's radar goes off. Hey, what are you doing? I'm listening to music until you called me and interrupted my Bluetooth stream. No, I'm not listening to music. Answering the question of what I was doing previously. There's an alphabet I designed. I'm going to transform it into a font. I just haven't got around to letting into the template. But basically I use like different parts of different alphabets and then kind of combine it with numbers. So that way it'll work. Like I had this idea of just making an animated puzzle box, kind of like Hellraiser, but like that morphed with the Rubik's Cube, where each surface has its own glyph. And when you twist it around, it'll form words like a crossword puzzle. But if you do it just right, it'll spell out a message that'll kind of trail its way around the cube. I just thought it'd be a cool kid's toy, or even a puzzle for grown-ups. It's just one of those time-taking tasks. I don't even know if there's like a computer program, but I had to write a program probably to calculate that, or just sit down with a piece of paper and trial and error, bing, 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 or figure out how many letters are in the different cube designs, and that would give you parameters as well. My stomach teased me there. I thought I was going to burp, but no. Life. Yeah, a kid. I was asked earlier if I do tattoo work, and yes, I do. I'm not the best example because I've healed out a lot, but majority covered. Just the parts I can't reach, I can always train someone else to work on it. For a while, I would train my ex-girlfriends. As I was dating them, I would be like, hey, you want to learn how to do this? And they would all do some decent work, and then they would give up on it, or they did okay work, but then the relationship ended. Like, that's one of my students. That one, the big tree, that was one of my students did. That little guy on my arm, tribal. Uh, oh well, you get the idea. If anybody's really interested, I can always do like a showing. Better live though. Sorry, I look haggard tonight. It's poor lighting. I feel like I look like a fucking goblin. I'm putting on a hat so I can be a shallow cunt. Supposed to be kind of like my fur Paddington hat, but it's kind of like a dynamite James Evans Jr. hat. Pull it down just right. I discovered long ago if you wear fur jackets or fur hats to the club, people pet you. And getting petted by some good looking ladies is a good thing in my book. As long as you're single and ready to mingle. No cheating, fellas. That shit is wrong. Wrong. Oh yeah, the spirit animal that I was doing earlier. Still don't understand how I got a butterfly. Seems like a poorly thought out thing. Because a butterfly's not an animal, it's a fucking insect, right? 6 legs, thorax, abdomen, proboscis. Guess you can't expect much from an internet quiz. Then again, let's find something interesting to put the other camera on. It's not so dull. So here's a fun tale. I'm at the beach the other day and I see two seagulls just tearing into a pigeon. And they killed it and were just eating it, and it was nuts. But then I kind of like felt a sigh of relief because a lot of times when I walk to work uphill, I'll just see some pigeon wings and nothing else but a little bit of blood on the sidewalk. And I swear to God, for whatever reason, it got in my head that it was the one homeless dude that looks really, really beyond belief. I thought he might be hunting squab and just, like, it's not that far fetched if you've seen this guy, but I don't want to disparage him because we all have our road to run. Now that I see myself in the camera like this, I kind of feel like a reverse Smurf. Okay, though. There's nothing wrong with being Smurfy. Bing! Bam! Came up. Ooh, in other news, Sriracha, my Russian friend, is going to come over tomorrow morning and hopefully he'll throw down some violin tracks and set my recording software back up for me so I can be lazy about it. And then I'll have some new tunes to throw out there. Because I've been feeling like playing more, not just like diddling around or, playing Nirvana and Slayer and stuff like that, which is fun. It is great to fun to play other people's stuff. It's good for exercise. It's like following someone else's workout regimen in a way. But I have like so much that I've recorded over the years. I want to go back to a lot of it because now like the timings are more relevant to what people are expecting in this day and age, at least for the style of music that I play. Like back in my heyday, probably 2003, 2004, it got up to like 2,500 fans, which was impressive only because I actually made friends with them one by one. It was just people that would comment, "Hey, I like that song," and they'd inquire about it, like kind of guitar I played or who helped me record it or, basic stuff. And like that was my first network. So that's where the band name came from, Devil Machine Network, because I consider the computer like the ultimate devil machine. You have to put all your senses and focus into really making it work at full capacity versus television networks or television, which just passively programs you through alpha wave hypnosis state. The computer actually takes you to the theta and delta waves. And in some cases, I think can induce a state of waking dream similar to mescaline or peyote or other hallucinogenics in small doses. My resource for that would be I've watched people take dope and I observed them carefully on numerous occasions, as well as read up and studied on it. If anybody ever wants specific sources, I'll be happy to try and dig through my hard drive. Sometimes I can't always pull it up quick because amnesia still kind of slows my recall. Like I don't know, I told a couple of people the story. Like when I was a teenager, I got mistaken for somebody else, and they tried to beat me to death with a piece of sprinkler system pipe, like the black steel. So like I lost a lot of my memory, and I was 19 years old. So I had like that weird perspective of being partially child minded and then partially my age. for a long while. And eventually I overcame it with different therapies and techniques that I researched and tested out on myself. But of course, I still have, occasional recall issue. Mostly because sometimes I didn't remember I knew things until I see it pop up. That's a lot of my chat style, honestly. Like I'll just sit there and sometimes stuff will trigger me and then I want to check it out and try to remember it correctly. So I'll question others if they've heard about it or shit like that. I've played guitar since I was 12 years old. Sometimes decently. I've been in 2 or 3 bands. None of them super well known. I think most of my fans back in the day were from Holland. Apparently, instrumental metal is really big over there at that time. I thought that was cool. I do a lot of photography. Anybody who follows me on Instagram, they can check it out. What else is good in the world of Dave? Ventura's COVID nonsense is relaxing a lot. I'm happy to report that. Nobody's been coming into the store recently with any attitude. There's been no shortages of anything. We got in 35 cases of sanitizer. That bigger bottle is now $5, but I want to say it was zero or noon earlier, but supply and demand, man. And it's actually like most of it's witch hazel, so it's not the most effective thing for sanitizer. It's good for like a balm, I guess. Honestly, I would think iodine would be the best solution. People are really worried about germs. Because then you can, like, when you're getting stitches, they'll pour iodine all over you to disinfect you and keep you clean while they're working. And then they kind of reach out. Just plug some stuff. Everybody always likes seeing artwork. I don't know how audible that was. That was the sound of all my textbooks and manuals falling off the shelf. The big book stencils. That's my oldest daughter when she was a little baby. See, she has blue eyes. And she is half me, half Latina. So she got the recessive trait and it stayed, whereas mine changed. Pretty much I draw and design whatever people ask for as far as stenciling goes. Yeah, it can be basic tribal or stuff that's a little more elaborate. This guy wants 2 scoops of raisins because they're great. Saturday morning, I had to talk about cereal, right? Go until 4:20, then I'm gonna snap another load and call it quits. Till then, fucking do it. Some Superman. I did that for a Marine guy. His spinal piece, his first tattoo, he picks the top of his spine. That was gutsy, painful. Just a little bit of that. Everybody's got their own taste, so the artwork they ask for reflects their personal aesthetics, not necessarily how I would draw something or finish it off. You know, when you're doing someone else's art, you do it the way they want. When it's you, you can do whatever the hell you please. That was a band I did for this girl. Super Kim was like her screen name on everywhere. It's like a double star, so it's 7-pointed star, but taking 2 5-pointed stars. More tribal. Sometimes it's still work to fill in empty spaces. Draw me for a prize. I did that at her art school just on a whim. I also joined the hair club for men on a whim. Some of the shit I do to amuse myself is insane. But I don't give a fuck. Flowers, pretty flowers, hearts, and what have you. I did a decent series of zodiac symbols. It's not really my deal, but you know, the people into them: Scorpio, Gemini, Libra, so forth. One of these days, somebody will come on my panel. Maybe when I do it when people are usually awake. Seriously need a secretary. Keep track of all these things in a file for me. Or I should probably just scan them into the computer. I just have my scanner in the other room. Back up to your pipe. stress sloth that holds my pipe for me. He's a good buddy like that. He just chills in my little tray that my friend made for me with clay. She's a potteress. I guess is the word. Potteress. She was a business partner for a minute because she's got an excellent garage space. And I set up a clone lab, mother station, and a bud room in progress for her. And a month in, we had 48 clones and 8 mothers. And she got in a fight with her husband, and that guy sprayed him with Raid and killed everything. And we still haven't gotten any payback on that. But it's only because she's in financial hardships because of everything. So I'm not pressing the issue. I'll probably end up just throwing a plant in the yard in a couple of months, maybe sooner, and just be like, look, grow this out for me and we're square. Because I don't mind partnering up. I love gardening. I love consulting with gardening. There might be new developments since the last time I ran a shop. But I can always learn and catch up. And there's also things that I know that I was working on that a lot of people might not know about because they haven't thought about it. Like, just to tantalize, I'll tell you, when I was done with the last shop, I was getting clones to root in 4 or 5, 6 days, depending on different strains. I did that one on one of my buddy's legs. A lot of the designs I like to do are the really old school ones from the 40s. Those are pretty. That's my other little guy, and here's a little guy. My little princess. I've always been happy with costumes. Like, my kids all love costumes. Fan art. My friend Fana drew that a long time ago. That's like her octopus elephant combination. It's like, right on, thank you. I have all the photographs of the people and stuff that I still have on one hard drive, but I'm not firing up the computer right now for that. So a guy getting crushed by a snake. Cyphers will get a kick out of that. He's drinking his yak, skateboarding. But that's a delusional fantasy. The snake would probably be chilling with one of those little helmets with the 2 beers, like snake ale. You got a snake joke? Let me hear it. Biker tattoo for this dude's little engine. That was like the rough draft. Do stuff like that, little puts with the kids' names and things. It's my Brian tattoo. He's all high, so he's saying, no mas. It's more tool. It's actually on my elbow. It's more fan art. Whee! So yeah, it's been interesting. Thanks for tuning in, all of you who did. Hope you guys have a blessed night. Keep you in all my prayers and meditations. And I want to remind myself, in case I forget, to Wilby had a good point about he was always seeing squirrels, and I wanted to ask him if he was seeing them in certain number patterns. Like for me, every time I go to walk to work or I go to walk on a mission to the store or something, I see blackbirds, like ravens. And when I see one, it's usually a decent day. If I see two, day's kind of sketchy. Three, awesome day. And any more than three, you never know. But I've been watching it and keeping track of it for the last 6 months. And it really has worked out every time. With a few exceptions where I was able to cheer everybody sonically. Like I'll walk around clapping and doing the Ric Flair. Woo! Just to kind of give everybody a little kick in the ass. Keep them going. All right. Thanks again, Ma. Thanks again, Chrissy, for stopping by. Honored to have you guys present. Hopefully I was entertaining. I didn't bore the living shit out of anybody. And stay tuned for more. God damn it. Mine is so big it won't close correctly. Undulation. Night, and have a peaceful, happy morning.